Thanks, Sean. Hi, Dave. I'll start with the lineup question with the back-to-back. I don't know if you can clarify anybody in or out, but could we anticipate more changes than usual tonight?
We're looking at a couple things. The one main change, Koskinen will play and Smith out tonight.
It was interesting last night at the end of the game. Mike Smith made a beeline for a couple Ottawa players he wasn't happy with. How overall do you see your team's ability to handle that kind of stuff? How as a coach do you balance, okay, let's just hurt them with our power play, to maybe sometimes we need to engage in something that could lead to some penalties?
The game, every game is different, dictates there's frustration levels in the game. I'm sure their team was frustrated. They just lost 3 games in a row, so there's some frustration there. Our guys are, they're not going to back down from that. So that's part of the game. Sometimes I think there's not enough emotion in the game. So a little emotion is not a bad thing.
Derek Van Diet, Post Media.
Hey Dave, I'm just wondering, what are you seeing in Jujhar Khaira's game now that maybe you weren't seeing at the beginning of the year when he was having trouble staying in the lineup every week?
You know what? He's playing like a confident player. His positioning is really sound in our own zone. Penalty killing is solid, and he's really taken on a role of important shifts at certain times in the game. His line's got to be really solid, and he's taken the leadership and jumped in and done a real nice job. So his game has got, it seems like it's got quicker, but I think that's just a confidence that, I give him credit. When he was out a few times there, he worked his tail off, and the coaches that were working with some of the taxi squad guys there, they're the ones that said, like, JJ's been unbelievable out there. We got to get him back in, and he jumped in, and he's never been out. He's just come in and played really well.
How important has it become to anchoring that third line where you can move wingers in and out of that spot, but he seems to be a constant there right now and just been on that anchor on that line?
Yeah, that's a good sign for him, because there has been some different wingers there, and he's the guy that no matter what, the line seems to be having success. So he's the main cog there that has been able to drive the line. And we've got Shore and Patrick Russell with him there now, and he was with Ennis and Archie, and they've been, whoever's been there has been good. So they've been really a solid line for us.
And media, Derek, go ahead.
Thanks, Sean. And I just want to ask you about the success you guys are having on back-to-backs. Is that just a focus thing, or what do you attribute the fact that you guys seem to be successful in the second half of the back-to-back?
I don't know. Our team, we don't consider it a disadvantage at all. We want to play a certain way every game, and I guess we find ways to hang around games and find ways to win. We don't. The biggest thing is we don't go out and beat ourselves that second game. I like the mindset of our players where they just hang in there and they do what they have to do, and we've been able to figure some ways to win some games.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Ryan Rishaug, TSN.
Dave, what have you seen out of Vancouver in your pre-scouts recently, and what type of a game do you expect to get from them tonight?
I haven't watched a lot of them, a little bit here and there, but I'm more concerned about what we're doing. But they, from the last time we played them in here, they played a lot better. Last game, I don't think went the way they liked, so I expect them to be a real aggressive team tonight.
Thanks.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
What are you seeing, Dave, that allows your team to, you're winning different games. The confidence is there. You get scored on early. It doesn't seem to be that big a deal anymore. How does the coach see the growth? How does the coach see the maturity? We see it from the press box. What do you see from where you're standing? No,
you see, as you win a few games, your team, that confidence within your group grows, and it's, I give the players a lot of credit. They're sticking with, how we want to play, and when we get away from it, they're usually the ones that correct it, not the coaching staff. So they recognize right away that there's a way that there's certain things in situations we have to make sure we're sound and not giving anything away. And then there's other times when we can put pressure on teams and get them on their heels. So it's our guys have I give them a lot of credit. They've recognized situations in the game and momentum shifts in the game, and they're playing accordingly, and we've been getting some results.
No one wants to lose 3 in a row, but are we yet looking back on that Toronto series and seeing the positives of a team that got their butts kicked a little bit and came back strong from it and maybe learned something? Is that fair?
Yeah, no, that's fair. You learn something from that, but also learn something from the 3 games we just won. So you're always in that mode where you're trying to get better, you're figuring things out, and you're trying to maximize everything you're doing. And every situation allows you a learning experience to do that. And sometimes it's a little the schwacking against is a little better than or a little worse than the schwacking for. So you just got to stay pretty even keel. I know everybody thought the world was coming to an end when we lost 3 games against Toronto, but our guys, there's some things we learned from it. And just like the other side, we just won 3 games in a row or 4 games in a row, and we got to stay even keel. We're gonna come against a hungry team tonight, so you can't be feeling too good about yourself either. You just got to stay the course.
Rob Dutchkowski, Post Media.
Dave, Jujar made mention earlier that one of the things he's noticed about the team this year is that they're really supportive of every player, no matter what role he has. If he blocks a shot, they're cheering on the bench if it's a big hit or a big penalty kill. Have you noticed that yourself, and where does that come from? Is that a byproduct of winning, or does that lead to winning?
You know what? I think it's a little bit. You get confidence from winning, but there's also the games are quiet. There's no fans there. You got to make sure you're engaged in the game, and it's. I guess there's sometimes when the fans are there that some of that cheering or helping teammates is automatically there, but when there's no fans there, you got to make sure that everybody's engaged in the game. If a guy has a good play or makes a good play, you got to let him know. And I think I've seen that from most teams around the league. It's trying to create that emotion you need to have during a game without fans.